You are about to hear some of the world's best Geoguessr players trying to solve an extremely challenging task which could put them inches away from beating one of the toughest world records. So, how did we end up here? What sounds like a group of people going absolutely mad because of their number one hobby, well, might actually be exactly that. But more importantly, it's part of a long and incredible story. A story of the most time-consuming Geoguessr mode. A story of a world record that seemed almost untouchable just to be beaten twice within 24 hours. And a story of an enormous community effort in the Geoguessr process. If we get past this, I don't know what can stop us.
It's just actually so frustrating.
There's absolutely no fucking way. Fuck! What am I looking at? What is this?
Let's fucking go.
It's just crazy. This is me, and on January 22nd I started a streak that was meant to be historic. Although I had no idea about that at the time. I was feeling like doing some assisted streaks on my stream that evening. Assisted just means that anybody in chat can help with the streak. Like for every world record category, googling and using external resources like documents made by the community is strictly prohibited. All you have to help is experience and brainpower. And there's one exception to the rule which will actually make a massive difference, but we will talk about that once it comes up. So basically, I'm playing Geoguessr and people can see the location on my stream and tell me what they know about it. Today we were not playing classic country streaks though, where you just try to figure out the country you are in as many times in a row as possible. We were going for something called a hedge streak. And no, that is not looking at a hedgerow and then guessing based off of that. Hedging is a very common term among Geoguessr players. You see, often we don't really try to find the exact location we are in, as that takes a lot of time and is not always possible. So we are just trying to maximize the points we get from around. If we are in a country like Poland, for example, which is considered close to impossible to recognize the right region in, we obviously don't guess close to a border because that easily loses a bunch of points if it's on the other side of the country. Most people actually just click in the middle, so no matter where it is, you get some decent points. The classic lodge hedge. Yes, that's an actual term in Geoguessr as well. So hedging just describes increasing your average score with a guess if you don't know the exact location. And a hedge streak makes use of that principle. In a hedge streak, you are trying to get as many games of Geoguessr in a row as possible, where you score at least 20,000 points. Most people will know this, but in case you're not too familiar with how Geoguessr works, you get 5 locations per game and can score up to 5,000 points on each. If you guess 50 kilometers away from where it was, you get 4,800, if you are 500 away, only 3,800, and for 5,000 kilometers, you get close to nothing. So, quick maths, for a game of 20,000 points, you need to average 4k per round, which is equivalent to a distance of about 400 kilometers. Yeah, it's not a lot. And we are trying to achieve that as many times in a row as possible. So we really need to try to maximize our points by hedging properly. We are playing no moving, which means we spawn in a location and can't move away from it to look for more clues. We can only look around. Oh yeah, and in a hedge streak we don't necessarily need to guess the country correctly. Although that helps, of course. But if we are between two similar looking countries, we don't immediately lose the streak if we go wrong on the 50-50. So is this mode easier than classic country streaks? Not at all, it's actually quite different from it. Here you can see us start a new seed. A seed is just what we will usually call a game of Geoguessr. The seed determines what kind of locations we will get in that game. So if we are talking about an easy seed, that means we got some very doable rounds in it. We spawn in a location that we can quickly recognize as Brazil. But while it is not hard for us to get the country here, we still have to be careful. Brazil is a huge country, and if we guess on the wrong side of it, we can easily lose 2,000 or 3,000 points. And that would be very bad for the hedge streak. My guess here is okay, but not great, so we go into the second round with a score of 3,600. Here we spawn in a dry looking US location. Again, the US is a big country where you can easily drop a ton of points. And although I even guessed the state correctly, it's only 3,800, which is below the average we are aiming for in each round. Luckily the next round is in a smaller country, and that Finland guess is also really close, so we gain 4,800 points. Now we are back on average, and also back in a dry US location. This time the guess is pretty bad though. We get 2,600 points, and once I start the final round of the seed, I have to realize that we are only at 14,800. That means that even if we get a 5k on this location, a perfect score, we can't reach the 20,000 points that are required for the hedge streak. So the streak is already dead. You can probably tell what's the big difference to country streaks. Hedge streaking doesn't end on recognizing the country. Afterwards, you also have to region guess this country, and you better be close if it's a big one. The US, Brazil, Canada, Australia, Russia, Indonesia, Mexico, Japan, South Africa, India and Argentina are all very big countries that are often easy to recognize for experienced players. You don't mind those in a country streak. But here they are your worst nightmare. And since they cover such a big area of the world, they also show up very frequently. So overall, hedge streaking focuses less on borders and more on just getting the right region in the world every time. Well, and if you spawn in a random Russian forest, good luck on getting close. A middle hedge in Russia can already easily be a streak killer. The next seed we started was actually the first game of the streak that you're watching this video for. We started off with a Romania round, which was a bit weird, but we got it. And already in the next round I was about to go very wrong until someone called Bad at Geoguessr saved me. Guess it's Russia, but... yeah, I don't know. What? How's this Finland? I mean, I'm trusting you on this, but I don't know how you get Finland from this. Oh, that actually makes more sense here. As you can see, Bad at Geoguessr was right, and he might not be as bad as he calls himself. In fact, he is actually one of the very best in the world. A lot of people would probably put him among the top 10 players. What followed were another 2 US rounds, which we guessed more accurately this time. South Dakota. And a friends round to close it off barely above 20k. And that's how it all began. But where could it go? What kind of streak can strong players potentially accomplish? Well, here's the official leaderboard with the best 3 streaks ever achieved. And yeah, the numbers seem quite impressive. Like over 30 or even 40 consecutive games of 20,000 points is really difficult. And if you have ever played Geoguessr, you will probably agree. But what really jumps out here is the first place. 70 is so far ahead of everyone else. What's the story behind that? In April 2022, Harmless, who is one of the best players in the world, started a hedge streak that was absolutely groundbreaking. The other 2 streaks on the leaderboards were both done in just a few hours, which is pretty normal for world record streaks of many categories. But Harmless' streak was different. He and his chat discussed almost every round very in depth and also saved the streak from dying several times by very impressive guesses they spent a lot of time on figuring out. Assisted streaks don't have to be done in one sitting. You can also stop when it takes too long and then continue the streak on another stream later. Harmless in total spent over 23 hours, split into 5 streams, including a 7-hour stream lasting to 5 in the morning in order to save the attempt from dying.
Let's fucking go, guys. Oh, it's way too late for this shit, bro. We've worked so hard for this. Please, no Brazil. Please. That's good. That's, oh my god. Let's. Yes. Dude, this is ideal. This is literally perfect.
You can call it tryharding, but the effort that went into it was truly mind-blowing and showed how good people had become at the game. It's no surprise that this streak was considered almost impossible to beat and that people thought you would need to be quite stupid to attempt getting something similar again. Okay, in my defense, I didn't really plan to get close to it. I just wanted to have some fun and maybe get a 3rd place if we were lucky. But, well, the fate had different things in mind. We made it through the first few seeds without too much trouble and even got a nice 24k score on the 4th one. For people who don't know too much about Geoguessr, all of this looks a bit like magic. It was like that for me as well before I started playing around 2 years ago. How is that possible? How can people so accurately recognize the country or even small regions within them? Just like for everything else, it's of course a lot of experience that goes into it. But outside that, there are thousands of clues that you can memorize and that will mostly already tell you the country. It starts by looking at very basic stuff like road lines and also what Google cars used. Different regions were covered by different cars which are often not fully blurred, and there are pretty famous examples of very distinct looking Google cars which will almost always tell you the country already. But also things like electricity poles, bollards and signage are some of the most important things to learn in order to get good at Geoguessr. At a very high level there are way more specific things too. Pro players usually know dozens of clues for every single country and also within the country to get the right region. This is a pole marking specific to southern Queensland in Australia, this is a Manitoba license plate in Canada, and these trees are Siberian larches, which you will find in eastern Russia. This can get incredibly specific up to a point where you can recognize the road just because there's a camera glitch that you will only find there. But again, all of these clues that people more commonly refer to as metas are not everything. Even more important is being able to recognize all sorts of different landscapes, and that only comes from a lot of experience. Here we get a good mix of both. Everything looks very European and the blue strip on the blurred license plate confirms that. And then we have these poles with holes in them, which are very common in 3 countries: Poland, Hungary and Romania. And with the help of the architecture and just the general vibe that comes from playing a lot, we can be pretty sure this is Hungary. Here we have the blue strip again, this time with architecture that looks a lot like northwestern France. And the language, combined with the O2 area code on this van, confirms both France and the Northwest. Yo, it's Harvard, what's up Harvard, how are you doing, man? Harvard is yet another person who knows some insanely specific things in Geoguessr. He has hunted for new metas in several different countries, most importantly Nigeria. He actually is working on a document with a couple of 100 pages to help people region guess inside Nigeria. And Harvard's appearance in chat will really make a big difference. Not only because he is a skilled player, but also because he will be staying for almost the entire streak and gather a lot of other pros to join assisting here. But more about that later. First of all, we were in a kind of bad situation after this Mexico guess. I was just... How is this Morelos? This doesn't make any sense. I never understand this country. Okay, first thought Queensland, then I thought New South Wales, and then I thought could this be WA? I don't think it's WA. This was actually the first round we took a few minutes on because we could easily lose the streak with a bad guess here. Based on landscape, we mostly were between the states of Queensland and Western Australia, which were too far apart to just hedge in the middle between them. Eventually, we decided on sending far southern Queensland. Yeah, that was actually pretty south. So we were already in a tough position where we needed to get a good score on the final round. Luckily, it was immediately clear that we were in or around Ghana's capital, Accra. I think it's this one. This one's split. Either way, I think we get 4.6 here. That's just downtown, okay. Wait, too late. We win. The next few games were not as close and we made it through them without too many issues. Especially scary was seed 9 where we got 3 Brazil rounds in a row. The odds of getting something like that are actually super low. I think we'll try that. Goiás, but it was pretty close to the border, so it's a good call, okay. Not a great score so far. Okay, can we maybe get another country? That would be actually cool. But after spending a few minutes on this round as well, we survived it and finished off the game with a Cambodia location. Yeah, I think Cambo is always like 4.1, 4.2 at least. Afterwards there wasn't too much struggle for a couple of games, that is until seed 16, when we were suddenly very lost. Wait, what? This is Peru, what is this? I'm confused here, these trees look... Yeah, I mean that looks... The trees look so African, these ones. These ones look so African. Let me scan time. Surely Africa? Huh? Where is this in Africa? UAE. Oh, I like that actually, I think. Considering 3 different continents is never good, and going wrong would pretty much kill the streak. But Harvard offered to scan. What exactly did he mean by that? Remember when I said no external resources were allowed to help for streaks? Well, now the time has come to talk about the one exception to that rule. Of course, I myself, as the person actually playing the game, have an in-game map that I can use to look for stuff. But it was decided that also assisting players in chat should have the opportunity to search for things on the map. And this map is the Geoguessr map, which is usually used for a mode where people play along with the streamer in Twitch chat. This map and only this map may be used by assisting people in chat to look for stuff. The great thing about it is that it has some additional features like a terrain mode which helps for checking mountains and a satellite mode that can also be very helpful in many scenarios. So when Harvard said he would scan for the location, he meant he would try to find it on the Geoguessr map so we could be sure to send the right continent. Plus, of course, we would get a perfect score here if we actually found the location, which is always cool and very helpful. Harvard is one of the best pinpointers in Geoguessr, meaning he can find an exact location just using a map way faster, more consistently and accurately than the average player. And he really showed off his incredible skill here after scanning the map for only 40 seconds.
Wait, in UAE actually. Hedge Saga. And there's Malaya. Here. Yeah. And this, where was it? This could be that range. Yeah, that makes sense. It has like a gap. It's more like here though, right? Down here.
And after making sure everything really fit, we went for it.
Perfect. Nice one. Good job, Howard, good job.
And with that out of the way and an almost perfect score after the first 2 rounds, the remaining rounds didn't give us too much to think about. But just a few seats later, we were in trouble again.
What are these? Huh? This looks very... I mean, I definitely thought Australia here.
But I don't like this very much. Because of these signs, we were thinking that it was very likely that we were in a country driving on the left. But which country we really weren't sure about. There weren't any obvious clues, so we had to guess solely on landscape. We considered Australia, Indonesia and Thailand. After spending over 10 minutes exchanging thoughts, things were about to get better though, with a bunch of new people joining the chat.
Soilcott, wait, welcome.
Yo, Soilcott? What the heck is that? Once again, Harvard is responsible for that. The Soilcott is actually his Discord server, a place where a ton of good Geoguessr players are in and where some of them commonly chill in VC almost every evening. And this VC of like 7 or 8 people joining here is actually something that was about to change the streak forever. Not only because of the massive experience they added to the chat, but also because of another reason which we'll talk about in just a bit. For this round we'll stick to the extra experience, and with that we finally decided on a guess for this location.
Okay, I think everyone agrees. Can hedge here more. That's definitely 2.9. Okay, nice.
This was not only very relieving to get through, it was also the point where we tied my personal best of 20 consecutive 20k games. And with a lot of new brain power in chat, we quickly made it through the next seeds as well. But things were about to go really wrong.
So this again, huh? I thought South Australia, I think. Not sure though.
Again, it was a tough Australia round without any meta to help us. Chat agreed that South Australia was the state we were most likely to be in, but there was definitely another option which was pretty far away.
I'm just scared it's not here. Like, don't know if it can be. It doesn't really look like WA to me, but you know, soil is kind of red.
This type of soil is usually a good clue for Western Australia.
We all agree, I think we just hedge here. That hedges is pretty well.
After thinking about it for a bit longer, we decided to put our first vibe above the soil color.
Okay, I think everyone agrees South Australia here. Okay. I think that's good. Yeah, I was concerned about wow, the vegetation fell off.
1.7k, that's really not what you want to see in a hedge streak. It practically meant that we now had to get an average of 4.6 points on the remaining 4 rounds to save it. That's equivalent to a distance of 150 kilometers. The next round luckily had some good matters to help us. With the camera being lower to the ground and the language, we knew we were in Japan, and a very helpful method to narrow it down more are these plates on the electricity poles. These told us we were on the island of Shikoku.
North looks like this. I mean, this is probably a hill too.
We were trying to find info that helped us to actually get even closer, but finally decided that there wasn't enough to look for this on the map. So we eventually just hedged somewhere relatively central on the island.
Okay, never mind. 4.6. Okay, that's still what we need for every round. 4.6 is what we need for the remaining 3 as well. It's all good. Okay, we got another blurry one, where I can zoom and make it unblurry. Oh, I guess BC right now. Vancouver Island. Honestly, that was kind of my first vibe here, but well. It's fun. Why can I zoom and then it's unblurred? This doesn't make any sense.
We had some trouble with locations not loading properly before in this streak. It's really annoying, but you can't really do anything about that. There is a rule where you can skip rounds in a world record attempt if the location is broken, but this doesn't apply for this scenario. Actually, a broken location which would show up as a black screen would have been really convenient here, because this seed would not have counted and could be skipped in that case. So our terrible guess in round 1 would not have mattered and we could have moved on with the next seed. But of course it's not as simple as that. In the end the location loaded in and it was not as forgiving as the previous Japan one.
Okay, let's have a look. We have mountain north. I mean, it's definitely BC.
Based on the landscape and vegetation, we were fairly sure it would be somewhere in the Vancouver area in British Columbia. But with a big mountain to our north and an intersection that looked slightly different from a classic 90-degree one, we thought we could potentially find this on the map to give our score an important boost. The scanning started once again, but this time there was actually a big difference. Yes, Harvard is very good at scanning and pinpointing, but so are a lot of members of his Soilcode server. In fact, if someone would make a list of the best pinpointers in the world, that list would be almost identical with the list of people who commonly join the Soilcode VC. This VC is well known for being insanely good at finding very tough locations. So how long would it take us for this one? "25 minutes into it, we were still trying. The big problem was that there are so many mountains around Vancouver that we could potentially be looking at. And the angle of the road we were on was just straight north-south, which is pretty normal as well. So there were a ton of locations that needed to be checked. And we still had not found anything that really seemed to fit.
If we are not done in like half an hour, I'll probably send something because I need to go to bed at some point. But for now, I'm cool with it.
So we kept searching. But again, after another 30 minutes, all the potential locations we had looked at seemed to be slightly off. And there wasn't really anything left to scan. We had probably checked every potential intersection, sometimes multiple times, and nothing worked. So were we searching in the wrong area in the end? We didn't think so, so we decided to go for a hedge between the locations that had lined up the best.
I mean, that's definitely 4.9 something. Okay. No, I like this. I mean, we might have to scan for another one, but yeah, I don't want to spend more time on this one. Alright. That's not great, but it's 4.6 again. You looked at that? Yeah. Unfortunate.
so we still were in need of some nice rounds.
Let's just get a Luxembourg now.
Go.
No way, we can just... No way, no way. What are the odds for this? We can waste this one then, right? We can just send Antarctica and move on to the next one. I mean, we already had to kind of save the score a bit, but there's no way I can't do anything, right? I mean, I can have 5. Oh, what? Why did it not work the first 3 times? I should not have refreshed again, I guess.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. That would have been the easiest save of this seed you could possibly imagine. But well, since it happened, we had to solve this round somehow. Based on a few clues, we knew we would be in Turkey. But that's another big country where you can easily lose over 1,000 points with a bad guess. And Turkey is considered very tough to region guess in, even among the best players in the world. But what am I saying? Why would we region guess if we could just find the exact location?
There's a mosque over there, split highway, gas station, road goes like this, pretty much straight northeast southwest, I would say.
And this is actually the other reason why Solcott appearing in chat at some point was such a huge deal. With all the skilled pinpointers, our chances of finding something like this were much higher, and that could be the key to getting a very high hedge streak. By just not hedging as we were supposed to in this mode, but actually just finding locations when it was doable in a reasonable amount of time, and gaining a ton of points from it. That is very much allowed, but most people just don't bother enough. Arguably, the king of pinpointing is Mamrik. It still blows my mind how fast he often finds locations with only a bit of information, like some hills and a road angle. And that's pretty much all we had here. Turkey is quite hilly in general, and split highways like this one are super common all around the country. But only 3 minutes into this round, Mamrik made a call.
E95 out of Samsun. South of Saris. This, okay, I see. There's a gas station, I like it. House. That lines up, it's like 45 degrees. Another one, oh, this looks very good.
It really did, so we went for it.
Insane. Nice one, Mamrik. It's great.
Okay, pause for a second. What's the situation? Actually, we were in a way better position because of this 5k. We were on pretty much exactly 16,000 points, which is back on the average we needed. What could potentially go wrong now?
Oh my god. Okay. Is this Sarawak? Is this Philly? It's Philly, right?
It was indeed a quite generic Philippines location in the middle of nowhere. Nothing we could really scan for here. So 5k was out of question, and as the Philippines are pretty big, we had to guess roughly in the right region. And once again, Mamrik's opinion was of high value, as he has practiced a lot of the Philippines in the past and is considered one of the best when it comes to this country. So after discussing it for a bit, we came up with what we thought was the best hedge spot for this location.
For Cursed Palawan. I think if it's here, we're good. Maybe. We can probably go more here. Still, I mean, this is definitely 4k, and I think here maybe is 4k roundish.
After spending 1.5 hours on the seat, we had made our final decision. It all came down to this.
Okay, I mean, I think you all agreed on this region. So we try this and hope for the best, because what else will we do here? Nice. Oh, that was... I expected this to be more, honestly. Okay. GG.
Oh. I was done for the day and ended the stream to continue the streak next time. It had been a good run. We were already pretty close to the 3rd place now. 2 days later though, when I started the stream again, we instantly had a bit of a deja vu. Okay, we spawned in British Columbia again, but this time we were not so sure on the area. but with the railroad and the river we decided to give it a quick scan again to be on the safe side. Solcott had not joined the stream yet, but Quarksos, who is usually well known for being extremely good at Europe and especially Switzerland, found it after just a few minutes.
I mean, yeah, it could probably work.
That's like a kind of a valley. I mean, that works too. It's actually pretty good, a good find. Okay, I like it. I'm gonna send this, right? Yeah, very nice, Quarksos. And we were playing the seed very well for the first 3 rounds, having over 14,000 points, when another difficult North America round suddenly caused some big issues.
Right.
We have a good score. I think this is definitely fine. It is not great. How is this Austin? Yes, we had 16,000 points, but it was still concerning, as the final round looked pretty tough as well. We weren't even sure about the country here, considering both the US and Mexico. But good news was that we once again had some things to scan for.
No, but we have a mountain range, I guess, over here.
And this looks like a salt lake or something. Also, Mumrick had joined the chat, and Harvard and some more Solcott members were about to. So in the end it was Jacob, another insane pinpointer, and also, by the way, the current second placeholder in this category, to figure it out.
So Nora, yeah, wow.
Looks good.
Oh yeah, here I guess that's actually a pretty big range over there.
Do I send this or do I hedge somewhere? Fucked. Nice, yeah. More south. Afterwards, stuff luckily got a bit less scary for a while. Although we had some great moments, such as this one, where we weren't sure which country we were in for 10 minutes or so.
I don't know, Greece.
Can be Greece, nah. I've never seen water thing, and these houses look way more Spanish than Italian. Just for Mumrick to suddenly call the 5K in a random place.
Yeah, that was exactly what I thought. Kami den Mayol.
Son Caldera. Don't even see that one. Oh. Caldera. There. Okay. No idea how you find this, but YOLO scan. This guy. It's just insane. Or this one, where we were in some decently sized city in the US, but really not sure about the region. So we lost our minds searching for something fitting for 20 minutes, considering every little detail we had given. Well, almost every detail.
Yeah, that's probably the most useful what we have here.
Wisconsin, it says Wisconsin here. Fuck off. Welcome to Wisconsin. Or here, the final round to tie third, where we showed how much we deserve our place on the leaderboards. Might be a favorite hedge. I mean, it's awesome, honestly. We're not going very fast, to be honest, but I don't care, it's fun. So true. Yes, so we reverse. I think the further the streak goes, the slower we will go. And it's still a long way to 70. Okay, I'm hedging here though, just in case. Yeah, it was Russia. And once we also made it to the next seed, it was clear that, yes, someone would need to review and verify this at some point, so it could be on the leaderboards. With all the time we spent on some of these rounds, that would be a very tedious process taking a long time. And you have no idea what actually happened once I submitted this hour-long attempt. We will get to that at the end though. So we felt a bit bad for taking so much time, but we had a lot of fun, so we probably wouldn't really go much faster anytime soon. We were now having a similar approach like Harmless once had, playing it safe, really maximizing the points we could get so the chances of us losing the streak were minimal. And it turns out, especially on the next game, there was a smart decision, as we were probably facing the hardest seed so far. You're doing like 23k hedging. Crazy. Okay, this could be a bit more difficult. With the Southeast Asian vibes and these poles, we could be sure we were in Indonesia. But Indonesia is a very big country, which can look very similar in many different regions. So that's what we discussed for a while. After taking into account the type of poles we had around, we concluded that we were most likely to be in either West Kalimantan or somewhere in Sumatra.
Oh yeah, we can hedge here. Just hope it's not over here somewhere. Okay, it was West Kali. That's okay, 3.5.
The next round we also had a long discussion about. As you can see, it's just a forest with a generic bus stop. So the potential of going very wrong here existed, and we already didn't have a great score. A couple of people suggested Russia, and a location in a random forest there, as I said earlier, can be devastating. But apparently we were able to rule out Russia here.
Do you know if this car can be in Russia? Because I kinda argue against it, to be honest. I've never seen the blue thing in Russia.
No one had ever seen this Google car in Russia, and with that not being an option anymore, we were strongly leaning towards the Baltics. Wide gravel roads in forests like this are a very common sight there. The Baltic countries themselves can be difficult to distinguish, but most people felt like Estonia was our best option. So that's what we eventually decided on sending.
Here. Go. Live! Alright, whatever.
But this seed was far from being over. The next round we spawned in the forest again, this time with some more info though. We were in North America, and because of the French language we were certain we would be in Quebec. But that's still a big area.
Valle de... well, hard to reach. TR maybe, or TEE?
This writing suggested we were near a bay, and we also had the name of it. There was some stuff that we could potentially find on the map. So we started searching for it. It took us about 10 minutes, but in the end Anna was the one to find it.
You have it?
Oh, there.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, nice. Good find, good find.
Okay. This seed is just fucked.
Another location in the middle of a forest, this time with even fewer clues. At least the lower mounted camera would instantly tell us this is Japan. But Japan is another big country where you can easily lose a bunch of points. Again, we were listening to Mumrick's advice here, as he has practiced this country a lot. What can you take away from this location?
Legit nothing. Okay, what are your vibes here? How far north, how far south can this be, in your opinion? Because then we just hedged the middle of that.
So yeah, in the end we just decided on something that seemed to work best, although we really weren't sure how close we would be here.
Sure, perfect hedge. Okay, let's try it.
Nice, okay. And we actually got 4.7k from it, which was great. We had made it through 4 really tough rounds. In no world we would get another one, right?
Oh my god, just stop this shit.
It wasn't a random forest this time, but just a very generic North America round.
I would guess the United States of America, maybe.
Both US and Canada were an option for us. The good thing was that with 17.3k we had a decent score. Still, we couldn't just hedge all of the US and Canada here. Our guess would still need to be decently accurate.
I feel like something like this, I mean, surely this has to be 2.7. How far north can this be though? Can it be up here somewhere? How far south can it be? This is so stupid.
After discussing this for several minutes, help was near though.
Oh, JHK, this is actually huge.
Most people consider JHK the best player when it comes to North America, and especially the US. And he could actually confirm something that made the decision a lot easier.
100% US, okay. I mean, Middle Indiana. Could be Illinois or Ohio. Okay, I mean, if you don't see anything up here, I don't fucking know. Okay, I mean, ascending. Okay, nice. Yeah, it was Ohio. Very nice. Thanks for coming in clutch here.
So, with the help of a lot of people, we had made it through this very tough seed. And with that out of the way, we could now approach the second place with hopefully some easier tasks. We had spent so much time on the previous past seeds.
we spent like, what, 3 hours on the past 8.
And yeah, I guess for some reason we were also trying to 5k this turkey round.
Terrain, there's some spikes. Pan up and down. Left and right. Oh, I see.
And apparently Jacob wanted to make sure we really beat his second place.
Northeast of Van near border. Yes. Said Max East ironically, well, you were right.
For the next rounds we actually sped up guessing a bit, but let's not skip over this Mexico round, where we were trying to find a good spot to hedge.
Okay, we're hedging here. I mean, it's not Puebla, I think. 147 close to La Reforma. Hedge. Ah, okay, there's 140. Yeah, I mean, this is whatever. Whoa. That guy!
And here you can see my desperate attempt of 5K'ing something by myself without help a few rounds later.
Fuck! I was ready to scream, who's that Mammoth guy, but it didn't work.
And finally, we got past the final round to tie second place.
It wasn't Aqua, it was Takoradi, okay. Okay, we have 40. That's tied with second place, I believe. Yeah, we tied with the Jaco guy.
After an easy Netherlands round, we got this.
Ooh, scan time. I mean, this one should be doable, pretty easy. I bet I could do this. 27. 27-2. No, wait. 27-2? Just line it up. It's probably this, actually. Easy. Who's that Mammoth guy? Who is he? What do we need him for?
Then we got a more difficult New Zealand round without big road numbers, where I needed Mammoth's help. Or Jacob's again.
Found it? Nice. Well. East of Wanaka. Small road. Nice, nice, nice. Nice one, nice one.
The final round could have been more difficult, but since we only needed 600 points, not even Russia could put us in any danger here. I'm sending. Nice.
Oh my god. Okay, good job everyone. We got to second place.
And that's where I ended my stream a second time. After making it past Jacob, the next goal was obvious, and it wouldn't be easy to get there. We would try to hunt for Harmless's hedge world record. It was time to question how untouchable it really was. 2 days later, we slowly but surely continued. On seed 43, we spawned in a location in Quebec with some findable information. We had the street names, but zero clue in which city we were. So what happened next is quite obvious. We were down to scan through all of the province until we found the names. And what can I say, for once I was actually the lucky one to randomly zoom into the right place.
Ha! I found it! I'm good!
Scan master. And apparently we got a pretty blessed seed. The next round was an easy find in coastal Brazil.
Snet. Easy. Oh. Okay, Harvard.
Followed by a Nigeria location, and as promised earlier, Harvard is the goat at this country.
It's 5k? Okay. Nice, nice.
Oh.
What is this blur? What the fuck?
3 rounds and a perfect score, but this round pretty much killed the chances of casually getting a perfect game in the middle of a hedge streak.
We're not scanning for this, I'm sorry. It's Lux, right? Can someone confirm this is Lux? We need like... I mean, it's pretty cool. If we get a 5k here, we can try to get 0 points on the final round and get 20k exactly. We are scanning for it? Nah, we're not. But it's Lux, right? Can't confirm. Okay, I mean... Not sure if Quarks is trolling me, to be honest. This is Lux. It's definitely trolling. Okay. It was Switzerland. That actually makes sense.
Luckily, this blunder didn't really matter, but it was still ironic to send the wrong country after 5K'ing 3 rounds in a row. No one say something. I guess that was the blur, it was low cam. Quarksers can't confirm. Yes. This is way too funny. Yes, this is Nigeria again, and if we wanted, we could have probably actually 5K'd this one as well. But since it wasn't really necessary, we just went for a quick guess and took a nice 24K on this meme of a seed. But we were about to get even more hilarious locations. 3 5Ks followed by sending Lux on Switzerland. Okay, so Flaki, where is this? This is scripted. It's all scripted. The seeds aren't even random. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm blind. Okay. 3 again. Can anyone read? Think! There's absolutely no fucking way. And if you have no idea why everyone finds this so funny, well, it's probably time for you to join the Plonk It Discord server, a place where the Geoguessr community meets up, exchanges knowledge, and comes up with insider jokes like this one. But honestly, if you're enjoying this video and feel like diving into Geoguessr yourself now, this server is actually the perfect place to get started. Plonk It not only offers many resources and even their own comprehensive guide where you can learn about all sorts of clues around the world, it is also full of people who are down to help you to get started. So if you think Geoguessr could be a hobby for you, make sure to check out the server, which is linked in the description. And who knows, maybe you will take part in the next legendary assisted streak attempt that ends up like this one. Talking about it, this Russia round was looking quite tricky. This one could be maybe a bit difficult. Maybe like just Chelia. Or more east. We have these birches. At this point, Harmless actually joins. He's not only holding the world record in this category, he's also one of the best players when it comes to the largest country of the world. But he wasn't really certain on the region here either. Keep in mind we can also hedge. Russia is not a great country to hedge in, but we can do so. We are on round 1. Flowers are Ivanovo. Oh, really? These trees look so much like more east. It's super hard to tell, but so in the end we just decided on a hedge. Trees look cherry, yeah, maybe go there. I mean, you're the Russia god here. Okay. Okay, was Ivanovo. Yeah, nice one. The score wasn't great, but luckily we were managing to get some good guesses on the next few rounds. An Italy location? Okay, I mean, if you all say so. Okay, US one. Okay, I think this is good, JHK? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just followed by a Malaysia location where we actually spent quite a long time on. We knew we would be in the state of Sarawak, but wanted to make sure to get some decent points here. We were on 12k after 3 rounds, which is not amazing despite it being the average we need for 20k. In the end, we actually ended up trying to 5k this, although there really wasn't much we could look for on the map. But once again, Soycord proved their incredible pinpointing skills. You want to read the review? So true. Okay, I'm doing it. Nice. Nice. Good job, good job. Luckily, the final round was quite specific coverage that we were able to recognize because of the snow and the huge car blur. So in the end we made it through the seed as well, and that would actually be the last difficult seed for quite a while. There were still some very scary rounds though, like this one on seed 49. This one confuses me. The now. These poles are so weird, why are they square poles?
Northern tip of Cebu. I mean, we can hedge Philly, that's not the issue. We just need to be sure it's Philly. We were leaning towards the Philippines, but simply because we didn't really have a better idea. No one seemed to be really certain about it, and some things felt quite off. Okay, I think everyone agrees on that, I guess. But right before we were about to send, another Geoguessr Pro and streamer joined. Yo, Sinno, what's up? What do you think here? Is this 100% Philly? No. Full top looks camo. Yeah, I thought car was off too, yeah. Car's just the white car. The camo usually doesn't have this. Oh no! Oh my god, it's actually the camo car. Shit! Sinners saved us here. Sending Philippines on Cambodia would have been devastating and could have easily been the end of the hedge streak. So this last second save was actually huge! Another tough round was waiting for us a few seats later, and it was potentially the weirdest round of the entire streak. Wait, what is this? Huh? The guesses were coming in and they ranged through many different countries. Netherlands, Denmark and Sweden were suggested, but our two main candidates were Poland and Finland. The location was both generic and quite weird at the same time, so no one was really sure what this was. We discussed it a lot, and every few minutes someone new would join the stream to have a look as well. Okay, Super also thinks Finland. Gotland hedge. You're not sure, okay. But you could see Poland, that's already good news. Or like, I don't know if it's good news, but at least it helps. Oh yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We're going insane here. Poland, Romania. We were thinking Poland. Or Finland, maybe. Yo, Poli, what's up? Prague. Oh. Shit. That's a new one. How bad is this? I mean, this is still 3k. South by. Eastern Germany. Okay, Czechia, Germany. Jacob. Have you seen this? Keep in mind, all of these people coming in can be considered some of the best players in the world. And don't get me wrong, it commonly happens that you are between 2 or 3 different countries and could see all of them. But this round was quite special. In the end, there were 9 different countries suggested, ranging from Central Europe to Scandinavia and all the way south to Romania. Making a decision here was tough, but in the end we went with Poland, as it was not only in the middle between all of the suggestions, it also felt like it was one of the most likely countries. Okay, you're saying we hedge for these two, more like hedging north. I mean, we can go here, I guess. Okay, I'm hedging more north then. I'm hedging here, I think that's good. Go. It was Czechia, okay. Cool Czechia? Not many. And although we missed getting the right country, the score was still very much fine, and the rest of the seat we didn't have any more issues. This would change 2 seats later though, when we once again were struggling with an Australia location. What the fuck is this? Is this Australia? What is this? This is a WA bollard. My first thought was, oh, ZAR, and then I was like, what? This doesn't look like ZAR. Or it's weird for ZAR at least. A lot of people actually first thought this was South Africa, but with this diamond sign we could rule that out. But this already gives you an idea that this landscape wasn't really anything we were used to. So we also weren't sure which region of the country we were in. South Australia. Well, yeah, I agree it doesn't look like WA, but this looks like a WA border. It's weird. I mean, I like South Australia here, honestly. This shit is dumb. This type of bollard is usually a very consistent meta for Western Australia. We were clueless. A hedge between the two states was possible since we had an almost perfect score after the first 2 rounds. Still, we would lose a ton of points by doing that. But just like it was the case for many other rounds before, some experts for the country were about to join to help us out. And let me say, the Australian community has some incredibly cracked players who can guess the correct state more than 100 times in a row when they happen to get a good streak. Yo, Sponge. Help us. Even Sponge, who is one of the very best Australia players, was confused here.
but at least he had one idea that seemed to fit best for him. Geraldton. Soilcott at the same time was also trying to find the 5k, but, well, it was just a random small road in the middle of nowhere, so the chances weren't great.
Yeah, we can hedge this. Can... road angle. I mean, yeah, sure, I'll give you a road angle. This is terrible. Okay, Sponge likes the hedge, I guess. Should we hedge somewhere here? It's still closer to here, I don't know, it's not really... it's not a commitment, it's somewhere in between committing and middle hedging. So after discussing this for 20 minutes or so, we decided that we couldn't take the risk of fully committing to one area. A hedge would not be ideal, but our best choice here. Okay, I think all the Australians say a hedge. I'm gonna wait for Soilcott to scan us though. Like, if you want to scan more, say so, but I think other than, like... I think they found it. What? Once again, right before we were about to send, someone made an important call. Soilcott had actually found it in the area that Sponge had suggested. You might wonder, how could we actually be sure that we found the right road? Surely there are hundreds of roads that look like this. It's mind-blowing that people are actually able to find locations like this one using nothing but a compass and a map with some helpful features. But these tools combined can be incredibly powerful if you know how to properly use them. So let's have a quick look at how scanning and pinpointing works. You've seen many 5Ks in this streak already, and all of them pretty much follow the same steps and principles. Once we spawn into a findable location, we first recognize which region of the world we are in, just like for every other guess. Once we have an idea about that, the scanning begins. But what exactly do we use to find the location? Well, we obviously look for important landmarks we can see in the location. Most commonly that can be mountains, coastlines, rivers or train lines that can easily be found on the map. The compass then helps us to give us an idea what they might look like on the map and where we are in relation to them. Also it tells us the angle of the road we are on. This obviously is a very basic explanation. High-level pinpointers use way more things, comparing stuff like buildings or even single bushes that they can see on satellite mode until they eventually find a fitting spot. So in this Australia location for instance, there aren't really any obvious landmarks. By looking straight north and down we can see how the road will show up on a map. It goes mostly east-west and ever so slightly northwest to southeast. It's a bit hilly, so we can scan in some fitting regions on the map. In this case we had a pretty good region guess by Sponge, which helped. Using satellite mode we can try to find areas with the right landscape. Looking at groups of trees or the shapes of the fields around us can also help. And then once we find a road that meets all these conditions, we can compare to the location and see if everything actually fits. Here we have this round water tank or whatever it is, and the paved road turns into a dirt road in the distance. And when all of these things actually line up, we can be relatively sure we found the right spot. Send that? You are convinced, okay. Okay, I think we got... Oh shit. Okay, get ready. It's just crazy. And with that out of the way, we made it through this and 2 more seeds before I ended my stream again. The streak stood at 60. We were getting very close to beating the world record, but let me spoiler, the hardest challenge was yet to come. And to make this even more exciting, we will now have access to the Soilcott VC. You see, already 2 streams prior we thought it was a funny idea to actually record the discussions of all these skilled players in this VC, just in case I would actually end up making a YouTube video out of this. But we should have a recording of that, of Soilcott for a whole streak and then splice it together. Not splice it together. That would be so fun. You can start recording, and we were already on 43, or if you want you can start recording. So that's what Harvard did. Unfortunately the audio went missing for the first 2 recordings, but now we can finally listen to what they talk about when scanning and discussing rounds.
I have never had the weird popcorn, so I don't know.
I've understood that this is a controversial subject in some Scandinavian countries.
Wait, it is?
Yeah.
Sweet popcorn is not a thing here.
Yes. Well, if it's not a thing, I'm eating something which is not popcorn right now, which...
I understand that it's popcorn and I don't mind you liking it. I am just informing you that it's not a thing here.
Where's this Lupus guy doing?
Looking at everything except the text.
This dude is so bad at scanning, by the way.
Oh my god.
Look, I like Lupus's streams, but his scanning is the most infuriating thing ever.
How's he give us a fucking angle? Holy motherfucker.
Yeah, thanks everyone, and I appreciate you too. Alright, jokes aside and back to business. We were starting the stream at 60, so the plan was very simple. Plan is to do 11 seeds today, that's the plan. At least 10. 11 would be perfect. And the first half of these seeds wasn't too bad, so let's jump ahead to seed 66, where a US round caused some problems. A bit northeast in Missouri. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think this hedge is... Well, okay, yeah. Okay, it was Ohio, yeah, We then spawned in a valley in Romania, with a railroad right next to us. Great conditions for scanning and pinpointing, so now we can actually have a listen to what that sounds like in the Soilcode server.
And it looks like a river.
Pretty far north, like east of Bistria on the E58. Follow it to Vatra Dolnay, and there's the 17.
Wait, north? West?
Oh, 17 is super short. Right? Isn't the valley pretty open?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she...
We're pretty wide.
Oh yeah,
the
that
valley-
does mean we're on the red road.
No, hold on. You see northwest? You see how that hill is bare? Yeah, that kind of works with the 17 here, no?
Where is this? Just north of Buryanis. Straight east of Kotumba.
What are you talking about? Which road?
Oh, these
12A.
roofs.
On the 12A.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
South, a bit south of the restaurant La
Buryanis.
Ballerica Rusu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
When you look to the north.
Houses
yeah,
are
like
even
the-
close southeast. I really like it. Houses
Yeah,
are close
okay.
southeast too.
Especially like if you look like west, then those roofs looked really nice.
Of course they were correct, and the rest of the seed wasn't too bad either, so we made it through it. In the next one we spawned in a coastal Philippines location that wasn't easy to find, but we still gave it a shot. And Harvard himself shows off his crazy pinpointing skills once again.
West of Carigara. Zoom in on where the mountain range happens. Pina Mupuan. And the northwest Campo Z.
I mean,
Low key, yeah.
sort of lines up, yeah.
Sending this. Cool.
Rage, dude, rage.
Let's fucking go.
The hype was real. We were so close to the world record now. But not so fast. It was the next seed that really wanted us to earn it in the hardest way possible. This seed would become by far the hardest challenge up to this point. In fact, it was so horrible that it can probably be considered the worst seed in the history of hedge streaking. It was the end boss, and what an end boss it would be. And what better way to start it than with once again a super difficult Australia round. Okay, three more. Perth. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, yeah. Urban locations like this one can look quite easy, especially since we even had a street name. But while you often get many country-specific clues in urban places, region guessing a country can get quite difficult. The problem is that you often don't have any landscape that could tell you the area of the country. And locations like this one can often look quite similar throughout many regions in a country. The first idea was Perth, which once again is in Western Australia. And once again, that was very scary since it's just so far away from other big cities. What really threw us off for Perth was the lack of yellow signposts, which is the standard for Western Australia. We needed someone who was very good at this country, and luckily we didn't have to wait for long.
Oh, Macca?
Huh?
Macca?
Mecca, an Australian expert?
Yeah, he's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
He's from Perth.
Could be Canberra. Interesting. That was indeed pretty far away from Perth, and it was a new idea for Soilcode to work with.
didn't see
North,
the
like
angle.
Braddon,
Should?
maybe Braddon, like
Yeah.
in the north east of Canberra texts, something like that.
Yeah, it's just the correct angle.
I'm scanning satellite for the roundabouts.
Unfortunately, it didn't seem to work out.
Nah, no shot, this is Canberra. At least not.
I mean, there's one red roundabout, and it's not it. So
With the roundabout.
I'm scanning Perth for red roundabouts.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, go
Look at
It's a
that.
very small roundabout, do you realize? Like,
Adelaide. That's a new one.
Adelaide.
Adelaide. Yeah,
Over here.
that's not a bad shout.
I'm scanning Adelaide for red roundabouts. I'm scanning Melbourne for red roundabouts.
As you can probably tell, we were having a hard time finding it. But finally, after about 25 minutes, we found it. Where? North Canberra. Yo, is huge. Oh, down here. Wow. Yeah, that's massive, honestly. Yeah. Good job. Like everyone, honestly. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, it's Ukraine? Is it Russia? Looks more Russia, I guess. How the fuck sieht so far? Again, it was an urban location, and urban Russia is a lot more difficult than Australia. Also this time, it wasn't really findable in a reasonable amount of time. Russia is just too big and cities can look very similar in many parts of the country. We were trying hard to spot anything that could help us here, but there just wasn't much. Some of the better Russia players agreed though that the central parts of the country were most likely. I think we either sent here or we hedged it here somewhere. Omsk. I mean, we can hedge Omsk, I guess. So we decided to just go with it, because what else would we do? It was a scary moment for sure. There was definitely a chance of it being quite far away.
I think we want Omsk.
Okay.
Oh, that's good actually.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
3.2. It was a good idea to hedge it.
I'm gonna learn every road in Yekaterinburg so it never catches me off guard anymore.
Bruh.
Okay, but we have Cabbage. Another Russia location. Good news was that it wasn't urban this time and at least had some clues. These plants can't be found in all of the country, but just in more western parts. Still, it was Russia, and the area we could be in was still gigantic. You've seen these flowers before? Yeah, they're like in this region here. Holokta hedge. That far north. I mean, also I feel like it could be more over here. I guess that works. Maybe more south a bit. There was a certain Russia expert, and we were now hoping for him to help us. But there was a twist. Harmless was here earlier. I don't know. If Harmless is still here. Harmless, wake up. We trust Harmless so close to 70. So true. I mean, if Harmless calls some bullshit like here, I won't trust him. Honestly. Yeah, the 30 round was super. Well, I mean, it was cool with 5k, it was unnecessary, honestly.
Thanks, Everett.
Yeah, no fucking problem then.
Yo, Harmless. Help us, please. Magadani. Of course, Harmless was gonna help us though and tell us his actual guess. Velsk. Where's that? Velsk. Oh, up here, yeah. I mean, that. I can see that. That made sense, so we decided on sending close to there. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a yes. Still okay. 12k points after 3 rounds. That was acceptable, but of course, the seed wasn't even close to being over. Okay, we got 3 bullshit rounds. You can't give us a 4th one. Right? You can't give us a 4th bullshit one. It's just impossible. Like, literally impossible to get 4 absolute bullshit locations in a row.
Oh no! And this
Holy
close
shit.
to the...
Surely the last one is
fucking
like something easy, right? Like an Andorra.
Monaco.
This is the worst seed in existence, honestly.
Bro, what the fuck are we gonna... This is actually so
This isn't
frustrating.
even scannable. What do we do here even? Okay. I think it looks like maybe southern Queensland, or more inland, or maybe New South Wales. It was almost comedic how often Australia would put the streak in danger. Scanning wasn't really an option, although people would certainly still try to find this against all odds. We needed the Australia goats to come back. Okay, can someone get Mecca again? Mecca. The same scene, we got 2 Russia rounds in between. And now we're on this. Mecca and Willy, 2 of the best Australia players joined, as well as multiple other people who are very good at this country, and pretty much everyone agreed that this was most likely to be New South Wales. But considering how big Australian states are, finding an optimal hedge spot was still a big challenge. Yeah, well, like I believe you're all thinking southern New South Wales, but you're saying it could maybe be north. And if it's north and we go here, we lose. Like the streak is over. No chance of coming back. If we go here, and it's up here, maybe we're like on 50.2 or 15.3 or whatever. But we can 5-hit the last one still, if possible. This seat has been so fucked. Like, we have to get an easier one. Last little pen, yeah. And this last pen was about to change this whole discussion. I showed the sticker earlier. I don't know. I didn't show it to Willy though, honestly. Maybe that was my mistake here. It's Southern Queen. Oh my god. Well, now I'm even more scared. No turning back now. I mean, we can hedge this. Then we don't lose here, but get better score here. Meanwhile, Solcourt was still trying to solve this round their way.
Right, yeah, well, I'm looking at the 42 east of Gundi Windy.
What if you don't go that far west of Tubia, just straight west of Tubia? There's a stretch of road that has like sparse trees.
Yeah, but like look at the 42 east of Gundi Windy. What GV is saying.
And they were slowly losing their mind over it.
Ooh! No, that's not a road. That's a fucking what?
Oh.
No, maybe here.
Okay.
Maybe more.
It was such a difficult and important round. It was really draining. And there was one big problem with the sticker on the back of the sign that was also discussed in the VC.
Yeah, like I think that sticker's just a red herring because the one person who mentioned it was like super unsure about it being an actual thing, you know? They aren't sure if it's like the actual Queensland sticker meta or whatever. They also mentioned that it is recently discovered or something.
Yeah, but like almost all of them said New South Wales until the sticker, and then it's like possibly the closest tiny bit in Queensland you could be. Like then it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, that's see, and I agree with that. Like they were so secure about it being NSW, and then they only slightly started doubting it because of the sticker.
In the end, we had spent more than half an hour on this round. We had considered everything, but a decision needed to be made. Okay, yeah, okay. I think that's good. Okay, any last words? It was fun, everyone.
Please don't be so.
Oh, please, let it continue, let it continue.
Waka.
We worked so hard for this.
Oh, let's go.
Let's
go.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
Let's go, no, we can, please.
It's not Queensland, it's not Southern New South Wales, it's just somewhere in the middle. You can tell how incredibly relieved everyone was. We really deserved an easy final round now. Yeah, we need 3.6 or something. Okay. Please, the seat can't get any worse.
Bro, go back.
North of
You are so on your fucking forward.
What am I looking at? What is this? Mexico or what? We didn't have a choice. It was getting late, but we had to come up with a plan on what to do here. Okay, 3.6. Let's think about this. Okay, first of all, this is Mexico 100%, right? We're not doing anything stupid here. We have an off-road. We have hills. you could argue it's better than the last one, obviously. Tommy on Hedge will do it. I mean, maybe. Don't know if I want to trust it though. Like, not on a 67.
A hedge in northern Mexico was most likely gonna work out, but it wasn't certain. And taking this risk wasn't really an option for now. Not after all the time we had spent on this seed and of course on the entire streak in general. It was scan time. And in this exact moment, the shuffle mode of my background music playlist decided to pick a certain song, which resulted in an unforgettable moment.
Nolan Zacatecas, if it's not in Java, you're done.
Yerushalayim.
Yeah. I was a bit hyped as well when I heard it. Yerushalayim.
I was completing the sentence.
You're all of sync.
It's tough. Thank you.
Hashem Savilia.
Orim Salah, Orim Safilai. Yerushalayim. Okay, I'm gonna make some tea now.
And although this kept up the spirits for a while, in the end it wasn't enough.
No, there's no road anywhere.
Many people were trying, but no one was finding the location. It was getting later and later too, so in the end we just had to take a risk.
Okay, I think we hedge all of this. Don't think we hedge this. I don't think we hedge this. Or we hedge all of this. Is that good? Okay. Okay, yeah, I guess we're sending because no one's finding it.
Almost 2 hours into this horrible seed, it was time to make the final guess of this stream.
Okay. Nice. Tamaulipas.
Let's go!
This was the worst, honestly. 20.5, yeah. Imagine we didn't figure out this was Canberra. Like, we're losing on this one. And that's why it's important to 5k stuff in the first rounds, if it's possible. But yeah, I mean, amazing, everyone. This seed was... I mean, this was boss level. Like, if we get past this, I don't know, what can stop us? Like, this is kind of the worst seed ever. Honestly, getting this past 20k is maybe the most impressive thing that has ever happened on the stream. At least in Geoguessr.
It was an incredible achievement, but it was not the world record yet. But was there really anything that could take it away from us now? Oh yeah, there was. And it is probably not what you expect. Let me introduce a completely new character in this story.
third place.
This is Ocean Man. Ocean Man is another pro player. He streams assisted streaks quite often and has held multiple official records before. There was a bit of a hype around hedge streaks around this time, so he also gave it a shot. And his approach at this was vastly different from my own.
Yeah, Lupus, I think we can catch up to him because they're like getting Tambulag. Yeah. They're being precise. Nice.
Ocean Man went a lot faster than I or Harmless in the past did. Once our streaks had reached 20 or 30, we both slowed down and started spending a lot of time to actually maximize the amount of points whenever possible. But that wasn't really the case for Ocean Man. He and his chat took more risks. They didn't try to 5k stuff as often and didn't discuss rounds as much. And apparently this actually was working out.
Alright, we at 50. We've doubled the streak today.
There were some moments where this fast playstyle almost became their undoing. On this rural Southeast Asia round, for instance, they spent less than a minute.
Look, South Thai, yeah. It does seem we appear to have reached a consensus here.
This could have easily been the end if they didn't have such a good score before, and luckily the final round was very doable as well, so they were able to keep the streak alive. Similar things happened a few times, but in the end they made it through all of them and the world record was in sight.
Yay. We did it. We hit 71. That's it. That's the record. Alright.
And as anticlimactic this reaction might be after this build-up with the dramatic music and everything, it had actually happened. Harmless's record had been beaten. And it had been beaten in quite an unexpected fashion. Harmless's run had taken 23 hours. My own attempt stood at 21 hours for 68 seats. And Ocean Man's? Well, his rush of a hedge streak had only taken 7 hours split into 2 streams. He didn't have time to continue at this point, so he paused here and would come back 2 days later. Now there were 2 people with very high ongoing streaks battling for the world record. And when I started my stream the next day, you can tell I wasn't too excited about it.
I'm gonna be honest, I was a bit down today. I really thought this streak was something special. Like, surely the streak was something special for going that fast. Yeah, that's kind of what I didn't watch too much, but I was like, where are these 68 seats? That these like 2 Australia, 2 Russia seats. Where are they? Because I didn't see them. I just saw seats with like maybe 1 or 2 of them, but then like a Uganda and a Netherlands. To be fair, I mean, most of our seats aren't bad either, but we play it safe in the first rounds, so we just can plonk the last one, which is the safe way, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, I was just feeling a bit down actually today because of that. I was like, this can't be true. First time ever, I get close to a world record, and then just Ocean Man goes and destroys it in like 2 streams. No way that's happening.
In all fairness, I want to make some things clear here. As someone making a YouTube video and trying to tell a story, this rivalry is perfect and adds some nice suspense. I will take that. And I am being honest when I say I really wanted to call this world record my own after all the time I had put into it. And I think Ocean Man was probably also eager to claim this achievement himself, which is very understandable. Still, you have to see that we are part of the same community. First of all, this means that we have played together in the past, we have watched each other's streams and have always interacted nothing but friendly and positively with each other. And this Battle for First wouldn't change anything about that. Ocean Man would actually stop by in the stream a bit later. Secondly, being in the same community means that pretty much the same people would watch our streams and the overlap of pro players helping and assisting there would be quite big. So while the person making the final decisions would be different, both streaks were still done by very similar groups of people. But of course the streamer can make quite a big difference, as you can see by the very different approaches Ocean Man and I had at this.
So we can beat that today. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, I mean, kinda true, but looking at something like that, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? So, should we change our playstyle? Maybe. Will we change our playstyle? Probably not.
And with that, we started our slow but steady way to actually beating the world record for the first time. Soon we would have the opportunity to tie Harmless, and it's a bit ironic that the final round would be an Australia location.
These are New South Wales thing, I think. And yeah, everything looks like New South Wales anyway. And we need 2.2, which I think we're always good. Okay, that's 70. Nice. Tied second place as of now. Okay, Ezra.
It's funny to think about how much of a hype moment this would have been only 24 hours earlier, but as you can see, now it was pretty much just a stepping stone. And once we had made it to this round where we actually missed getting the right country,
we all agree. Okay, fine. Yeah, was tricky. Okay.
There were only 2 rounds left to catch up to Ocean Man.
Yeah. I'm sending. What's happening today? 2 streams ago you would have wanted me to 5k. Tired, okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah, Thailand. We can just click middle. Hedge water. What? Hedge water? What do you mean? When we click here or what? I can't do that. Okay, I'm gonna do it for you. Yeah, I will find you. And this is tied world record. Tied unofficial world record. Now we have a tied double unofficial world record.
Yes, and even this didn't really feel like a world record yet, because obviously both our streaks weren't over. So from now on we were trying to build up a lead, although it was clear that Ocean Man would catch up quite quickly if he would keep playing in his style. This round seemed pretty tough at first, but luckily we had a helpful electricity pole right next to us that would tell us we were in Portugal. We actually got some blessed seats, but this would change after a while. After a bad Romania guess, we really were struggling with a difficult Indonesia location.
Could be easily any of them. Okay, I mean right now we're hedging all of it pretty much. If it's Bengkulu. Oh my god. Bengkulu would be bad, yeah. I don't know. That's probably 2k or something. Maybe we survive here, but it's. Well, it's kind of all of it. Kind of hedges all of that.
Even Pig and Kodiak, easily 2 of the best Indonesia players, were a bit lost here. Since there weren't any obvious clues, they had to rely on their massive experience with that country and based their guess solely on vibes. And Indonesia can look quite similar in a lot of areas. The islands of Borneo and Sumatra seem to be the best guesses here, but they weren't able to exclude Sulawesi.
Okay, Kodak, do you think we should not hedge for Sula? Because multiple people thought it could be Sula. Sula is unlikely but possible. Okay. I guess we're maybe hedging more here then. I don't know. I mean, this kind of works, and if it's Sula, it's bad. And you don't see Bengkulu, okay. What about then just go West Kali?
As our score after the first round wasn't amazing, hedging for all 3 islands would be quite risky. That was the conclusion after a while.
We like if we hedge all of them, we need like very good next 3 rounds anyway, unless it's Kali. Like if it's Sumatra or Sula, then we need 3 good rounds, and if we hedge more here, we maybe only need 2. I don't know.
In the end, we just went with it, and were praying it would not be Sulawesi.
Oh, okay. I mean that works. No one suggested that, but that works.
We definitely had a bit of luck there, but that wouldn't last for long. A tough Mexico round came right after.
We on 8k, nice. All good, all good. Again, not a great seed so far, honestly. I mean, like Chihuahua, okay. And maybe hedge south then. Okay, more Coahuila. Or maybe hedge more here then.
I guess. And maybe we did send too soon for once.
I think it makes sense to hedge here.
Yeah, sure.
That kind of corresponds to
Yes.
Are
Since
we
when does
alive?
Nora
We
have?
are alive
I mean, we are alive, yeah.
by 300.
Since when does Nora have white car?
Well,
It's 1.3.
oh, is it?
We have 8,000 or something.
Ah, okay. Well,
It's not, we're not, okay, this, Harvard, we need Harvard, now. A Nigeria round. Could Harvard do his magic and bring us back from the bad score here? Good news was that we had information and even a sign with something that could be a place name. Akwada.
That's how.
Agdaba.
Is that a place name?
I don't.
not-
I
not just a
don't.
word,
I
you mean?
don't know.
Mountain of Fire and Miracles. Of course, Solcott started scanning, and they would soon find something.
Yeah, this could be, but on taxes, and I have an egg bed I need but
Don't
on.
think it.
Hubbard, I have an egg bed
Yeah,
need
I
but
believe.
on.
I believe you. I totally believe you. The taxi is fit for Benin City and Ibadan. Yes,
Yes.
this makes sense.
The place name wasn't exactly right, but it was close, and could just be mapped slightly differently.
Oh, I have them. Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries. It's there.
In Igbeda.
Yeah,
Wait.
on the white
Airport Road.
Ogbere Idi Obi Road.
Igberi Ogbe Idi Road. Oh, yeah.
But while so much seemed to be right about the names from the signs here, there still was something off.
But the
New
angle
airport road,
is
where it says
not-
over there.
Could the compass be fucked?
Nah, not that much in this country.
And you can tell Harvard was tired this evening, and maybe also feeling a bit pressured by this round.
East and east.
Because I'm trying to not say up and down because he doesn't fucking understand what that means, does he?
Because
East and east?
He's not looking west. Oh my.
East and west,
Fucking
east of the road. What? What are you saying?
Axel.
Oh my. Like, you're just proving that I'm making sense when I say. Like, it's just fucking insane, guys. He's doing nothing. What are you doing? I want to die. I want to.
I mean, to be
Look
fair,
at
you're
all
you're not
houses.
making much sense.
Look at all houses, okay. East of the road, yeah, here. And when observing everything once again, Harvard actually spotted something.
Wait, no, it says Benin City, doesn't it?
I mean, that was what I was
That's
considering.
Benin City. It says something city. Yeah.
Dude, I've been so
Benin.
catfished, dude. This is insane. I can't fucking believe it. This is what I said. It's a fucking Benin City taxi. Okay, fuck me.
Where does it say Benin City?
At the bottom. It's a
It
city.
very much says
Oh.
yeah.
Fucking hell.
Or
I,
Okay.
So much of
I
Benin
can't
City,
believe
that mountain thing.
Yeah, you got me fucking so worried. I was like, it looks southeastern. What am I? What's happening with my brain, dude? Oh my god, you actually like made me so afraid of myself. I was so unsure.
I think Harvard is falling apart, guys.
Yeah, dude, I've been so tired at work. I've been working all day, and then I come back and I fucking have to figure out this when people.
I think
Oh,
I
actually, I
found
have it. Yeah, yeah, it is Upper Sakomba Road.
Yes.
As soon as it was clear we were in Benin City, it only took them a few seconds to find the location. We had almost been baited really badly by a similar sounding place, but now we were good to go. Okay. Oh, down here. Wait, what? Ah, I see. I thought it was this for some reason. Okay, or whatever, yeah. Okay, nice. The final round was in Botswana, but our score was now good enough to simply hedge to get enough points. Another scary seed was out of the way, and it would actually be the only one of the night. A bit later, I would end the stream again. We had made it to 80, and another question was slowly beginning to arise. 20 more for 100. But to be honest, Oceanman will probably get to 100 first. If he keeps up the pace. Yeah, Oceanman, when are you gonna continue, by the way? Tomorrow, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not available for a few days. Like, getting the streak to 100 was something that had been on the horizon for a while, but now we were getting closer and closer to it. Oceanman had way better chances of reaching that milestone first though. Not only was he going a lot faster, I also had to take a break for a few days. Of course there were still many things that could go wrong for him though, and they would. On the second seed he started in his next stream, he and his chat got in big trouble.
This should just be Spain though, right? Never Israel? I think a 5-minute... Is this Israel, Spain? Wait, that hole feels a bit more Israel? North of West Bank, maybe? I mean, that would make sense. If someone gave me 30 hours of footage, yeah. I hate y'all for real right now.
Again he had sent very quickly, and that was a mistake here. All of a sudden they were in a horrible situation, and there was only one way to save this. They had barely over 5,000 points with 3 rounds to go. Now they had to scan for the 5k in the remaining rounds. Hedging was no longer an option. And the scariest part about this was that they were at the mercy of the seed. If they would get a location that simply wasn't findable, something like a random forest with no information, there was almost no chance of bringing this back. Luckily, the first round seemed quite doable. They were in New Zealand, and there were a couple of very helpful things for pinpointing.
Looks like we have a river next to us. It looks like there's a railroad intersection up there, and that looks like a bridge that goes over the river. So I would assume that the railroad does go over the river. Like, this feels pretty findable.
A river, a bridge, a railroad, an intersection. Not the worst conditions. And indeed, 15 minutes later, they found something that fit very well.
Oh! Yeah! Okay, so... it starts to curve, so we're probably like there then. Starts to curve, we do have the river here. We have the turnoff. And we have, like, it looks like we see this road coming in. Maybe. You know, right there.
So they went for it.
Nice. Ever Israel, though? Okay. Fuck. Yo, phone code, holy shit.
They were lucky again. This was a very doable location in Brazil. They had a street name and the phone code helped to narrow down the area this could be in. Still, finding it would be tedious. With the code, they knew they would be in the state of Minas Gerais, but that's still a huge area with many cities. And when more and more time was passing by without finding anything, it became clear that this would be in a smaller city than they expected. So in the end, it took 30 minutes, until eventually something lined up.
It is also a what? Shit, this is also a one-way. This is going the right way. Is this it? I mean, that's gotta be it. GG's, what the fuck? Shit.
This would be by far the hardest location to find, but to look on the bright side, it was possible for sure. They were in Australia, and there wasn't really any obvious information to make this easier. They had no choice though. They had to work with what was given.
We have angle, hilly terrain, and also the road to the north. It looks like it kind of curves and then goes a bit to the northeast, and then it intersects with like a bigger road perhaps, and there might be a bridge there? I might just be making stuff up. Like, it looks like we have a church and then like another church. So maybe 2 churches? Also some kind of park? Or maybe that's just part of the church.
Originally, they were mostly scanning in the states of Tasmania and Victoria, as that seemed best with the landscape. But as the Australian players were sleeping, there wasn't really anyone who was super confident about the region. So after a while, they also started looking in New South Wales. Finally, after around 45 minutes, some better Australia players joined and called a quite specific region there. From there, it was a matter of minutes until someone found something. And it was Ocean Man himself.
Ah, scroll wheel, holy shit, please work with me here. Wait. No. Wait. Whoa, hold on. Hold up, wait, hold up. Hold up. We have a Catholic church. St. Joseph's Primary School. That looks right. And then would we have, probably that's a field. Chad's Lane. Somewhere down there is Chad's Lane. Nice. Oh my god.
They had done it. Almost 2 hours into the seed, they had brought it back from an almost hopeless situation. Again, many people from the community had helped, and together they were able to make this very impressive comeback. Now the doors were open to reclaim the world record. They returned to a high guessing speed, and a bit later...
Why didn't I guess in... whatever. I guessed downtown city when we had some hills. Alright, yay! We're officially in first.
The way to 100 would still be a long one though, and a very difficult round was waiting for them a few seats later. It was another Russia location.
This should be like east, right? Wait. Am I throwing? Because yeah, the white flowers do look more close to Baltic.
This was a horrifying round. Most people were thinking this was far eastern Russia, but the other option could not have been further away. They literally were between the two opposite sides of the country. And hedging all of Russia isn't really a thing, it's just too big. By going middle here, they could possibly still survive and get past 10k points, but they really had to rely on some easy 4th and 5th round then. It would be very, very risky. They had a phone code on the sign, which would have told them the right region, but it was barely not readable.
It does look like it starts with a 4, I'm not... 4-3 something something. It sounds more and more like I should be doing a China hedge.
In the end, they decided against hedging and committed to the east.
Ah! What? No! God damn. I should have hedged, man. I hadn't... No, we're not going again. God damn it! I should have hedged. I should have hedged. Fuck! I'm actually mad.
It was over. Ocean Man had the world record for now, and it was 84. An incredible achievement no matter what, but of course the dream of getting to 100 was gone for him, and he had not built up a big lead to my ongoing streak. So it is understandable that he was quite disappointed here. Now I actually had the opportunity not only to reclaim first place, but also to be the first to ever get a hedge streak of 100, and never seen Milestone in Geoguessr.
Step by step, I would say. Step by step. First plan of the day, get world record back. That's actually highest priority. Second step today, get to like 90 maybe? That would be cool, I think, for today. Here we go.
So the final road to world record began. And to make the situation more clear, let's quickly have a look at one rule which applies when two people are tied for first place. Of course it could happen that we would lose the streak tied with Ocean Man at 84. In that case, we would not actually have the world record. If two people have the same score on the leaderboards, there's a second factor that comes into play. And that's the time the streak took. As Ocean Man had done his streak in a way shorter period of time, this would actually put him in first place in this scenario. So to actually have the world record, we would need to get the streak to 85. And well, it didn't seem like we were struggling with that too much, getting a couple of nice scores on the first few seats, and finally...
Nice one. 24k streaks?
Now the score was even with Ocean Man's. One final seat was all that was left.
Gen 2, so surely Takera.
It started off with an Azores location, which we were able to recognize, but this seed would actually get harder now. An Indonesia location was giving us some issues.
This pole?
Again, we were not sure on the island, and the type of pole didn't help us too much. Mainly we were considering Sumatra, but Kalimantan was an option for us too. There weren't any Indonesia experts in chat, so we had to come up with a plan ourselves.
You like this plan as a hedge? Or should we hedge it more south in case? Hedge like, I don't know, here somewhere. That's still no, pretty good here. Okay, I'm setting. Oh, it was West Kali, it was here.
We had dropped quite a few points there, but our score was still okay after the first two rounds. The next location would be in another huge country though, the US.
Bollard moment? Any experts? Any plate recognizers? It's like Washington or something? Yeah, and like Cali and Washington plays pretty similar.
License plates can be quite helpful, as every state has its own design. Cars can travel and be baity though. Still, we were fairly sure on the region here.
Definitely we have mountains around and stuff. Ah, we can hedge Oregon. We have 8.3.
Hedging would certainly work, but what would the streak be without scanning? Of course, we would scan in at least one round of the world record seed.
Yeah, it's a split highway. I mean, it's findable. At least, maybe. What is this? I mean, it's a house, I guess. Was that house in the middle between the highway? Yeah, who wants to live there?
And what would the streak be without Harvard 5K?
Yep, I like it.
Actually, yeah, the guardrail lines up pretty well on the that side.
Yep.
Nice, nice.
Good job, Howard.
It was Marmwick. It was nice of Marmwick to tell you where it is, so it looked like you found it.
This round wasn't easy either. A fairly rural Canada location, so we could pretty much just work with landscape here.
Quebec sounds good here, I think. To be Nova Scotia.
In this round it was Steek, who by many is considered the best Geoguessr player in the world, who called the specific region here.
Yeah, Lassar. Yeah, I mean, that works. Not sure at all. Not a great hedge. Like, we shouldn't insta-send this for sure. Should think about this for a second.
But as Poli, another very strong player, was more confident on the region guess, it seemed good enough to go for it.
It would just suck if it's very far away, but if you're very confident, then I think we can send this. And either way, we won't lose on this, I think. Okay, I'm sending. Nice, nice. It actually showed up. Nice one, Steek and Poli.
Okay.
1.7k. For the world record. Estonia sent. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's Baltics. Really? Okay. Bolivian Extremadura flag. Easy 5k. We always saved the 24k. Like not saved, but we didn't. It would have been. It was just crazy.
It was finally done. This time no one was near to beat it again. 7 streams and 25 hours into the streak, the world record was finally ours. But as you can tell, we were hungry for more. Yes, the world record had been a goal, but the real goal everyone had been looking forward to seeing was getting this streak into triple digits. This would be a historic milestone, a proof at what unbelievable level this community as a whole has reached. 1 year earlier, when the record was still in the low 30s, no one would have thought we would get there anytime soon. So let's leave the 85 behind and go for 100.
Okay, that's 90.
As you can see, we weren't struggling too much here. It actually became a bit of a joke that we could go for a 24k hedge streak instead of the lame 20k.
Nice. Easy 24.6. Whoa, less than 5k. It's Nigeria. Don't be that guy. Or we could have literally 24k at every single seat today, I feel like.
So yeah, what can I say? The rest of the stream went very well, and there wasn't really anything that's worth mentioning here, other than Solcott calling out how bad I am at scanning for at least 20 times. I'm gonna ignore that though. Oh yeah, and we listened to Yerushalayim again, but since this video is already way too long, I'm only gonna play 15 seconds of it and speed it up for comedic purposes. And as fast as they were singing, we were approaching 100.
I can't believe we're at 94. That's fucking crazy. 94. 40 is a lot. I mean, this is just...
The 95th seed would be the last one of the night though. We would take one, hopefully last break, only 5 seats away.
Oh, you went actually fast today. Actually 15 seats in only 3 hours and 20 minutes. We had like 8 seats in 5 hours before, so that's pretty good.
2 days later would be the day. Everyone was ready, but at the same time we weren't celebrating too early. I'm a bit nervous. We only have to do 5 more and then I don't care, to be honest. But yeah, better not mess this up. That would be kind of painful. I already had an instance where I lost like a 99 streak before. Wasn't my proudest moment. Yes, that had actually happened to me. It was a country streak where I lost it in the last moment possible, and it made me quit country streaking for several months afterwards. So I was totally aware that this could still go wrong. Okay, 5 more. 5 more. Let's give us 25 Pandoras or something. Alright, let's go. They need 1.9. Downtown Eimer. Cautiously, but without too much trouble, we had made it through the first 4 seats. So let's see what awaited us as a final challenge to reach this unbelievable milestone. Let's not mess this up now. We wanna make sure we don't lose it here. Sounds like a plan, right? This is the seat. Let's not get another 68 seat. That was the worst one. Okay, this is not a great start, but maybe it's not too bad. It was a Canada location. This could have been quite difficult to get a good score in, but luckily there was a helpful sign. Carrot River. Or something. And a few seconds later we had found it already. Well, Marmwick. Northern Sask, close to the 35. That guy is scanning Carrot River. Crazy. How the... I mean, I guess you just knew that. Because there's no way you found it in 2 seconds. Showed up early. It's so small though. Kind of early, I guess. Nice. Good start, good start. Oh. Oh. This looks like inland Queensland. And of course, this streak needed another tough Australia location. This country had haunted us so many times. This time we were relatively sure we were in the state of Queensland though. Also we had Sponge in chat, who confirmed that, and we quickly came up with a guess. Yeah, it was pretty north. Yeah, it was actually north of Cairns, so that's crazy. This Botswana location looked doable as well. We initially tried to come up with a good hedge spot in the eastern half of the country, but in the middle of that we actually found something fitting. Taubje. Taubje. This? Are we in... Can we see like houses and shit? Or maybe actually we could have something here. Hard to tell. Nice. And we get a Tsar as well. This is so good, I love it. South Africa kinda is my own specialty, so I was hyped to have it in the seat. The location was in the driest part of the country, and we could be quite sure it was in the province of Northern Cape. We discussed it for a while and in the end decided on a hedge. Okay, it was here, yeah. Yeah, good job. And with that out of the way, there was only 1 round left. Okay, we have 1 more round. And we're gonna start now. NMPZ, too late. Okay, I think we might have a chance to get to 100. Possibly. Surely be 5k the 100 round game. Honestly, isn't this range kind of findable? I think isn't that range like actually a region guess thing? Okay, we actually also have these, which look pretty high for Serbia. Of course we would try to 5k the location. It just had to be done. And although we were struggling for a bit, eventually there was something that seemed to work. Might have something? 5k's the historic round. Further southeast on the road. This? Ah.
I guess. It's good on hybrid. Okay, everyone. Presumably this is the first time ever in the history of Geoguessr we had 100 consecutive games of 20k on any map, I guess. Not on any map, but on any world map or popular world map. I don't think anyone has ever done this on anything like Diverse World. Can we do it with the 5k though? Nice! Nice one. Absolutely epic. GG's everyone. This is incredible. We had done it. After doing this for literal weeks, we had brought the Hedge streak to the milestone we had dreamed of. I was very happy and thankful for everyone who had helped with this. I think it's actually crazy how many people worked or helped with this. How many people just hopped in for a round to help, like who are like good in a country or something. Remember that one seed which was actually super hard, and like multiple Australian players hopped in to help out. I think it's just crazy. Really a big community streak. And that's really something I want to pick up on again. Yes, this streak was without any doubt a huge and impressive achievement, but it becomes a lot less unreal or shocking once you start explaining it. There was so much combined knowledge and skill from dozens of strong players. We had people who are good at country streaking and who helped whenever we were struggling there. The community has reached a point where there are often multiple experts for region guessing specific countries, and especially the big ones. And these experts would join in for many crucial moments. Think about JHK helping with a ton of US rounds, Harmless coming in for several Russia rounds, or Australia players like Sponge and Mecha making important shouts when everyone else was lost. And there are so many more examples for that. Finally, we even had the best pinpointers in the world, who converted good region guesses into actual 5Ks over and over again. This streak was made possible with the help of so many people, and that's something that makes Hedge streaking so amazing. It really combines so many aspects of playing the game that completely different playstyles and specialties all find their place here. This was really a community streak in its purest form. And well, I want to give a shout out to myself as well. Coordinating all of this and making the right decisions in lots of important moments is something I'm proud of, and I don't want to leave this unmentioned. In the end, it was 500 different rounds, and one bad guess could have ended it all. Still, it was an assisted streak, and the assistance was actually immense. You're talking as if it's over? It's not over, but this is like a huge milestone, I think. So we are on 100 now. But the streak isn't over. That's the thing. So what's the plan now? I think we go faster now. Because if we continue like before, I think we could easily get this to like way higher numbers still. I enjoy these streams a lot, but I would also like to do something else again, to be completely honest. And then if the streak dies, I think I'm honestly super cool with that now. Everyone ready? We're gonna do speed mode now. I'm gonna be honest with you, this video is already a lot longer than I expected. I never meant to make a 2-hour video about this, and also this is mainly about reaching 100. So I won't go over the next seeds in detail. We did go faster and it actually worked pretty well for a while. There were a few tough seeds, but we survived them without doing too much scanning. So let's jump all the way ahead to the moment where it would all go wrong. What was it? What actually made us lose the streak when it seemed almost unstoppable already? To find that out, we have to move to seed 127, 2 streams later. It was just the second seed of the night, and the first round of it wasn't too bad either. It's always there. Honestly. India tracker, I guess. Tracker locations like this one can be quite tricky, but more importantly, India is just hard to region guess and not many people are good at that. No one in chat really had any clue. And well, let's be honest, despite the faster approach we had now, this guess was still very rushed. I think this is fine. Where is Dustin to? That's actually a good question. I think he would say we go here. How's it so far north?
Oh, and that actually loses so much. I didn't think they would lose so much. In hindsight, we even completely ignored a very good clue in that round. We had Hindi language on the sign, which should have pointed us more north for sure. That's not good. We're on 7k, I think. And this might be bad too. Indonesia, another big and tough country. With a bad guess, this could already be the end. And we were struggling with this for a bit, but luckily there was a helpful pole nearby. North Sumatra pole. This... oh, true, it is. Yeah, it's a North Sumatra pole. True. Yeah. Should be Nias. Does Nias have... do they have the pole there? This stuff. Okay. That explains it. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. Zurain is very cracked at Indonesia and was confident here, so we went for it. Yeah, huge shot there. Very nice. Both like Swan Gambit and Azure. That was quite important. Now we're decent again, 11.9. We had an acceptable score again, but this US round looked tough as well. We discussed it for a bit and were trying to come up with a region guess. Michigan? It works. So we have a front plate, so maybe more like Minnesota or something. Where was it? Here. Everyone agreed that we were probably somewhere in the central northern part of the country. Still, it was a relatively generic round, and no one was too sure about the region. The thing is, we had a railroad right next to us, and there were a few more things that would help with scanning. So since the hedge seemed quite risky, that was the only logical option. South Dakota, Road 13. Oshkosh 44. Illinois 54. Northeast Nebraska. Nebraska, really. There were multiple suggestions, but after checking them, none really lined up in the end. And there's one problem that is very worth mentioning. This stream happened at the same time as ESA was taking place. That's a big in-person speedrunning event in Sweden. And some Solcod members, including Harvard and Mamrik, happened to attend that event. So some of the best scanners were actually missing for this crucial round. But even without them, there were probably like a dozen people trying to find this. But for some reason, we just couldn't. I think if we don't really find it, we can just send and hope for a good final round. I think we shouldn't lose on this. Hopefully. Unless it's completely somewhere else. That would be bad. 45 minutes into the round, we finally gave up and decided on hedging. There were pretty much three possibilities. First of all, we could have missed it and scanned over it somehow. Secondly, the mapping could be different from what we see in the location, which made this impossible to find. In both of these cases, our region guess would still be more or less good enough though. The third option seemed unlikely, but the location could be in an area that we didn't scan in, because we excluded it from our initial central northern region guess. The first two cases would probably be fine for us. The third one was the scary one. Well, you probably know what happened next. 3.2. It's Kansas. How is this all the way down Kansas? Okay. We're still in it. Shit. We were alive, but only barely. Oh my god. It's not a rip. Like... it's not a rip. We can get 4.8 here. Cambo and probably more south. Honestly, 4.8. Sounds like it's... Thai or Cambo? I thought Cambo. Yeah, no, honestly, like, I think if this is just downtown Phnom Penh, which kind of looks like it to me, we're good here. Road, angle, and curves. I mean, appreciate your goodwill here, but yeah, this wasn't really scannable. We were pretty sure on Cambodia. That is not a huge country, but we still needed a good guess here. Most people agreed though that it was very likely to just be close to the capital. Scannable, I don't know.
with a lot of effort maybe. We can do that, or we could just click Phnom Penh and send. And I would say we have like an 80% chance it's just there. I mean, we have a road angle, we have curves, we have houses that would show up probably. But yeah, it would be very, very tough. So I think we just try this. And if it's over, then it's over. Honestly, it's been a long streak. It's been 10 streams. This is the 10th stream. And maybe we should just go easy on the verifiers and don't do another 10 streams. Doing this for the verifiers. We just throw for the verifiers. Shows some love for the verifiers. So a hedge was our final decision. I think we're hedging pretty much all of this kind of flat area. I don't know, maybe it can be up here. I don't know how it looks up here, honestly. Then we lose it for sure. But we can't hedge for that. And that's it. That's the end. Yeah, nah, we're not finding that. There was a huge river actually. We couldn't see that. Clapped. Like, honestly, that was just amazing. This streak was absolutely huge. Like, shoutouts to everyone, honestly. So many people who helped with this, who like made really good calls, who found 5Ks, who were just here watching, waiting for their opportunity to hop in whenever their advice was needed. And this is still the first time ever in the history of Geoguessr that the community gets 100 consecutive games of 20,000 points. Oh, I feel so bad for Harvard. Harvard was here for like every single stream, and today he's not here and we lose it. That's actually very unlucky. And Mumrick too. Mumrick and Harvard were here so much and helped so much with this. This is the 10th stream actually. And this streak has been going on for a month now. The story is not quite over yet, so what happened once I submitted this streak? When Harmless had submitted his 23-hour-long submission, it had actually taken almost 6 months until it was verified. And well, my streak submission would actually be over 35 hours. Plus, keep in mind, Oceanman would also submit his streak, which would add another 10 hours to the queue. So how would the small group of verifiers handle all of this? Would they just refuse to spend weeks of work on it? Or would they actually go through it and verify the submission? Well, they kinda would but wouldn't at the same time. Just a few days later, 2 posts were made in the Record Verdicts channel of the Plonk It Discord. One was for Oceanman's streak and one for mine. They did approve both streaks, but in a way they never had before. They actually had not watched the whole length, but just parts of it, and further asked people who had watched the streams to report suspicious moments to them. And I think that was the right idea here. There's only a handful of people who are willing to spend time as reviewers, and this way they could actually invest the time in other and shorter tasks. The reviewers are doing an amazing job, and it would have been very unfortunate if they were locked up by 2 massive submissions, and of course especially my own. This decision was very understandable. So I could officially call this world record my own now. And it looks like this would actually be the case forever, because the story is still not quite over. After the 2 streaks got verified, there was a long discussion about hedge streaking and how to deal with potential future submissions. And there was one big consensus. Everyone agreed that submissions of this category were no longer verifiable in a proper way. It was discussed to keep hedge streaks as they were with simply lower reviewing standards, but in the end a different decision was made. Assisted hedge streaks from now on would be played with a 2-minute time limit for every round. That would make it harder, and submissions would be a lot shorter and could be handled again. This new category is now found on the leaderboards. And the old way without time limit? Well, it was concluded that it was the best to retire the category entirely. This is a bit sad, as there is currently no other category that combines both skill sets of region guessing and pinpointing. And that's what gave hedge streaking so much variety. But to be fair, pinpointing was never meant to be such an important part of this mode anyway. That's why it's called hedge streaking. It's about hedging. And while the 2-minute timer does no longer allow for extensive scans to solve difficult rounds, it may actually capture the essence of hedging a little better. So this is where the story is actually over. Retiring untimed hedging means that the current leaderboard remains frozen.
At least for official attempts. Of course, anyone can still attempt to beat these scores. And who knows what might be possible in a year or two. That's so beautiful about this game. There's an infinite amount of knowledge to gain, and the community won't stop researching and learning until they know every little detail to solve round after round. The 126 hedge streak might be incredible right now, but there are way more achievements to reach in the future. I want to once again thank everyone who was part of the story. These 35 hours of streaking were so much fun, and I appreciate anyone who took part in it. Special shoutouts to Harvard for being so epic and recording all the Soilcut sessions. He also helped with this video in some other parts, mostly by just motivating me to actually start working on it again after I took a long break from making this. Also shoutouts to Ocean Man. Make sure to follow his Twitch, which I will link in the description, as well as Harvard's. Both are great streamers who deserve every viewer. Also, if you actually made it all the way here, you might be interested in diving into Geoguessr yourself now. It's super fun even if you're completely new, so just give it a shot. Once again, the Plonk It server is a great place to start learning and meeting other players, so check that out. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Zack in the Box. He doesn't play Geoguessr at all, but still was down to help by reviewing this whole video and tell me if it was actually easy enough to follow for people who don't know much about the game. Zack creates videos too, and I'll link his channel below. He actually made a very amazing documentary about a stunning achievement he was able to recently reach himself. So if you like this video, that should definitely be your next watch. And finally, thank you for watching and making it to the end. I never thought this video would be so long, but here we are, and it's so cool that you're still watching. It took actual months to make this, so I'm very thankful for everyone who shows this video some appreciation by liking and sharing it. You can't expect to see more videos of this dimension, but I do post Geoguessr related content from time to time, so feel free to subscribe. My Twitch is also linked below if you want to give it a follow. Thank you, and see you soon.